This next example, we're going to solve another trig equation using some factoring. But you'll notice here that it's all multiplication to start with, and we have the sine x over here. Now the temptation is to divide sine out on both sides, because then that just takes it away. But that also gets rid of some information, so we're not going to do that in this case. What we're going to do, we're going to start just by dumping everything onto one side. We're going to dump sine x on this side by subtracting it. So we'll start like this. Now that we've got everything on one side, now we think about factoring. In this case, there are two terms. They each have sine of x, so we're going to take sine of x. We're going to factor that out as the greatest common factor, leaving tangent squared x minus 1 on the inside. Now we're at the point where we're all multiplication between these two factors, so we can split it up into two mini equations. We've got sine of x equals 0, and we have tangent squared minus 1 equals 0. Let's start with the sine of x. Now with the sine of x, remember that the y value on the unit circle is going to be sine. So when we're going around here, we're looking for where is sine, where is the y value equal to 0? Well, here's one of them right here. We've seen that before. Go around, no, that doesn't work. These are, here's another one. We've seen that one again before, where the y value is 0, and that does it for the sine. So that means in this case that x for this mini equation is going to be 0 and pi. We take those two, then we head over to our tangent squared. We're going to start by adding 1 to both sides because we want to get tangent squared isolated, and we have that equal to 1. Now here's an interesting situation. We have tangent squared, so we actually have to take the square root of both sides. But the trick is here, when we take the square root, remember that we have to consider the positive and negative version of the other side of the equation. So we have plus or minus. That's going to make the number of solutions we have a little bit greater. We go to the unit circle and we find out where tangent is equal to positive or negative 1. So tangent again is y over x. The places where tangent's 1 or negative 1 is at multiples of pi over 4. So here's one version of it. Here's one example because y over x will be 1. We go over to the second quadrant, and this one's actually going to work because y over x would be negative 1 here. There seems to be 1 in every quadrant as you're seeing. Here, y over x equals positive 1. And then finally the fourth quadrant, y over x equals negative 1. So I've got all of my different solutions here now. You can see just from what I've circled that there are 6 solutions. For the tangent mini equation, we are talking about pi over 4, 3 pi over 4, 5 pi over 4, and 7 pi over 4. All of the pi over 4 multiples, 1 in each quadrant, and so we have a total of 6 solutions for our second trig equation.